Well, guys, how's she going this morning? Here we are pushing friggin' 10:30 mark. So it got to the point where this hydraulic cylinder that had a small leak turned into a really large leak. And I phoned for hydraulic for the cylinder for a new seal kit for it. Well, the only ones that would definitely have the right seal kit without me having to actually take the cylinder in and dropping it off, which is this cylinder here, is to get the seal kit direct from more or less Kuhn or our local dealer. And it's 150 bucks for the seal kit for this little tiny cylinder. I said, there's no friggin' way. That's just a basic, cheap-ass ag hydraulic cylinder. 3000 psi, nothing fancy, blah blah blah. Like a 12-inch stroke on it. I'm trying to read this sumbitch, but it's not in the best of condition. But yeah, so I phoned around to Princess Autos. Well, I can buy the whole goddamn cylinder for $130. And I don't have to take the friggin' thing apart and put new seals and anything like that in it. And in future, they said they would, if I wanted, they would be able to get me seal kits. So let's see if we can read this son of a bitch. And this is just a fucking red lion hydraulic. So, but there's it says Kuhn part number right there, working pressure, right? Red Lion Hydraulic Solutions. And so it's not an expensive cylinder by any means. So yeah, 20 THC 12. So basically, I believe what that means is it's 20 inches long. I measured it from center point to center point. It's actually 22 and a half with a 12-inch stroke. So that's the way I'm reading it. And like I said, $130 at friggin' Princess Auto. So 1-inch shaft. So guess what we're doing? We're gonna go and get 2 new hydraulic cylinders. 2 new hydraulic cylinders that will work to get this machine up and running again. Properly. No leaks. There we go. So yeah. I'll bring you all back a little bit later. Alrighty guys, well, there it is. This one I had to turn the head on it because for this port, it was on the inside and I didn't want it on the inside. So I turned the head and made it in line. So we got a new cylinder there. And this one, I just ran the port in on the side right here, and now we gotta fire it up. This should be fine just like that. We gotta fire it up and see if everything's gonna work proper, check for leaks, so on and so forth. It should be good. Friggin' wasted half a friggin' day already, god dang it. Anyway, fun, right? And my buddy Jeremy, he's over here doing a transmission calibration on Little Blue and clutch calibration. There really is no adjustment for the clutch. It's all through a calibration process through the computer system because it's all hydraulic. So that's what he's doing over there. Okay, Up sesame. Down sesame. Let's go check her out. You see if it's spewing oil all over the god darn place. No leakages. No leakages here now. No leakages here, as far as I can see. Ugh. Get a rag and clean it up and run it a couple more times and go from there. I'll let you guys go. Oh, and if anybody's wondering, $260 for 2 hydraulic cylinders with the fittings, new fittings, because the fittings off the old cylinders wouldn't fit on these new ones. So with the fittings, it was $150. Right? I'm thinking per cylinder. No, the fittings were like $4 a piece, so less than $140. So $280 plus taxes. These fittings, fitting here, the hydraulic cylinder, one on each side, versus $300 just for the seals. Crazy, fucking crazy. Anyway, let you guys go. Alrighty guys, well, we've been going here for a little bit. That corral over there, corral 1, is all cleaned out. Sorry about the dirty windows, it happens. Shit spreader's right friggin' full. And we're into this corral over here, what we call calving corral, main calving corral. And then we have our windbreak corral, which is all pushed up. Spreader's working good, don't got no leaks, so that's a positive. Took goddamn near 2 hours to calibrate all of the sequences on that friggin' little blue. And Big Blue here, he would be the same because it's the same transmission, 16 and 16. It's the same engine, it's the same, everything is the same. The only thing different between Big Blue and Little Blue is the 3-point hitch. It's all controlled right here in the armrest. Where Little Blue, it's 2 manual levers. You're up and down in your float control. But I don't know how many loads we've hauled out so far today. Yesterday we did 6 or 7. This afternoon / evening, whatever you want to call it, I think we're up to, again, 6 or 7. So there was like 12 loads by itself in corral 1. This is part of the load that's on here is actually from corral 1, just a cleanup load, a couple of cleanup buckets. And so there he is. And Dylan's out here shooting his guns. I should put him in the seat of this tractor. That way I could keep pushing Manure up while he hauls. Yeah, that probably won't happen though. Anyway, let's get this hauled out. Talk to you later. Well, good morning everybody. She's a beautiful morning. Not too much wind, a little bit, not bad. By the trees. They're just kind of sort of moving. They're changing color, them larch trees. They'll be dumping their needles off here right away, them 2 buggers. Making a mess of everything. Anyway, we had a little bit of rain last night. Oop, there we go. Basically 1.5 tenths. I'm not going to dump it because they're saying it's supposed to rain a lot more over the next week and a half. We could see as much as 2 inches. That'll soften the ground up for disking stuff in. So, but yeah, she's a beautiful morning right now. I get a water jug into the house and fill Big Blue up with some fuel and get to work here. So I'll bring you guys back in a few minutes. Alrighty guys, so the neighbor wants to know approximately how long it'll take to get a load done, and I told him, well, let's do 2 loads and that'll give us some more approximation. So it's going on 10 bones right now in the morning, 10 a.m. So we're gonna start with loading, e-brake, and the way I've been loading all year at this point, she's steamy. Since we piled it the other day, it's steamy. And we'll take 2 loads out to the specified field, and that'll give them a good approximation on what it's going to cost for 2 loads of manure. So we'll work at loading this sucker up and then get on down the road, basically 4 miles one way. I told him we're probably going to be pushing around an hour and a half per load, because when this guy's loaded, I sure as heck ain't going to be traveling Mach speed to get to his place. The last thing we need is to blow a friggin' axle or a wheel hub on the shit spreader, because that means we would be down for a month, and the last thing I want is to be down a month when we got all of that stuff to clean up, plus 3 more corrals that have not been pushed up yet. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna get this loaded and we'll bring you back later. Alrighty guys, well, we got 1 load out and we're working on load number 2. We're not quite halfway there, and we're pushing the 1 hour mark. By the time I get done talking to you, it'll be an hour. Then we'll see. Basically, it's an hour a trip, right? So you do a 10-hour a day, you do 10 loads, that's, yeah, right there. A load an hour, more or less. Anywho, let's get her done. We'll catch y'all later. Well, that's load number 2. Sorry guys, I ain't doing very good at showing you what it's like when it's unloading. But this is a Kuhn ProPush 2044. So what that means by ProPush, it's got a big hydraulic wall table tipped sideways. When I stop here to close this gate, I'll show it all to you for all you newcomers. So this is the wall / table, whatever you want to call it. There's a big hydraulic double cylinder. You can see the upper one right there. And then there's a lower one. Can't see it right now. But they're both inside this big long tube. You hit your hydraulic, and this wall literally pushes the manure or whatever you've got inside here. It pushes it out. You see that big ugly crack in the floor right there? Yeah, it's been like that ever since we bought the machine. You hit another hydraulic lever, it lifts this. It's called the slurry gate, so stuff can't fall out the back end. as you're traveling to your field, and for real sloppy stuff to help hold it in there. So you open that, you hit your lever, that wall, the push off, it pushes the manure into the beaters, which in turn they're spinning and they spread the manure all over the place. Unfortunately, every single time we come back and forth, if we continue to do this, if they like the idea of it basically being an hour a load, then I'll have to close the freaking gate, open and close the gate every time I go in and out, which kind of sucks, but it's an hourly rate, right? Now, some of you might ask, BP, you got farmland of your own. Why don't you just put all your manure on your own land? Very good question. Well, I also rent almost all of my hay land, or half of it. I rent from this landlord right here, from this guy. He's an organic guy. And I'm buying fertilizer for myself, granular, and we're gonna spread it on the ground. Being that he's organic, he can't use that organic or that granular fertilizer. He would have to buy a special fertilizer, and to get it in, I don't know what the cost is. I have no idea, because it's not a big product here, right? But phos is his biggest problem, and he's really shy on phos. So anyway, I also, out back behind us, there's a bunch of cows. Well, those are my cows. I rent pasture from the guy. So basically what we're doing is trading pasture rental for fertilizer delivered. So that's what it works out to. And if anybody's wondering, what are you charging? You know what? That's for me to know and you not to, because this is my deal with my landlord. I can tell you, my fertilizer is worth $1,000 a load. There, how's that sound? That machine, $1,000 a load. It holds about friggin', I don't know, 6 ton. How's that? $1,000 a load? Sounds fair, right? LOL. We'll catch you later. Alrighty guys, well, there it is. Just got the go ahead. I guess we're gonna be hauling manure, excuse me, out to my neighbor all day. Or for the rest of today. And then we'll see what happens tomorrow. Definitely got more than enough shit for how much money he wants to share back and forth. How's that sound? Because I owe him for pasture rent, so more or less pay my bill off this way. Nobody coming. So we'll just keep on trucking. Only difference is we're not going to put it in the field that we were going into. We're going to put it on a different piece. So that works for me, if it works for him. Anyway, let y'all go. Let's keep on trucking. Talk to you later. Alrighty guys, well, we're still going. She's a spreading back there. We're in a different field here now. If you haven't noticed, this was flax and peas mixed together. And they've got it combined off. It was not a very good crop. So you can see my line. I've got 3 loads out here right now. It's a little farther away. And getting here, you got to bounce through a little bit of a pasture piece. So it's taking an hour to get out to do a trip versus 45 minutes. So it's taking a little bit longer, but they said continue on for today anyway, so we're gonna keep giving her. But we got, well, theoretically 2 kraals are cleaned right out at home, and we're working on the big windbreak kraal right now. So slowly but surely we'll get her done. And empty. Now to put her in gear, bounce through this pasture out here, and then hit the road and really give her the goose going home. Coming out here, I only go to gear 15, and I'm doing about 17.5 miles an hour. But going home empty like we are, then we're bumping her up to 24.2 on average. So I'm gonna keep on going here. Talk to y'all later. Alrighty guys, look at that. Seeing that little area right there? Grass is all trimmed up nice and short. Things are put away nice and neatly. Other side of the fence right here, grass is more or less all trimmed up nice and neatly. CP's been going freaking crazy yesterday and today with yard cleanup. She's got all the grass trimmed up in this area. Over here, she's been a busy bee. It looks actually really good, but I gotta move the couple of things and then we can really do a proper cleanup. But she did the house yard yesterday and today, and a little bit out in this area over here around these bins. I moved gravel into this area right here is where we're going to plant our camper for the winter. CP was busy cutting grass and trimming grass all through here yesterday and the day before. And today she attacked the friggin' shop yard. She's a busy little bee. So it's cleanup of all kinds going on here. We're cleaning kraals, we're cleaning yard, I'm busy with kraals, she's busy with yard, and just going nuts here before winter comes. So anyway, let's keep at her. I can't remember. I think this is load number 5 or 6 so far now today. Oh wait, not today. This is 7. I think this is load number 8 for today. It'd be 5 or 6 for that second field that we were hauling into at the neighbors. So keep on trucking. Talk to you guys later.